how we set up the CRM to provide you the information you looking for, excuse me, and help you manage kind of your sales process. And I won't go into too much detail, but again, we'll provide some access to maps. So you talked about the Delaware Basin as kind of being a focus. Here's an example of the Delaware Basin, and I have it listed here by operators, and so you get some visibility there. When we come into the CRM, ultimately, what we're going to do for you is, and I'll just flip it over here to Producers USA. We're going to load in all the account records, and then we're going to enrich that account records with data to help you be more productive. And so you might say, okay, I want to find accounts that are in the Delaware. I'll train you on different ways to find that, but one simple way: go into the universal search, click on Delaware, and then I can say, okay, let's take a look at all of these accounts. And I've tagged all these accounts to have association to the Delaware Basin. We can go specifically into, say, Oxy as an example. And again, we've kind of enriched this information for you. Things that we just associate with you. Here's a link to their company news. Here's a link to the map. So you can just come in and specifically look at Oxy, see where Loving is and how many wells they've drilled there, Reeves, Eddy, Howard, so on and so forth. So just to give you a kind of a reference associated with that. Over here, we've got their LinkedIn company page. Easy for you just to click that, go in and do a little bit of market research on the company, on the individuals. And we have our link to our landing page on our website for Oxy. And then when we come in here, I've got updated, just some information. This is how many wells they've been drilling. So you can see a nice peak over here. And then you could come into any one of these reports, click on it, and then that'll give you some in-depth information on the wells that they've been drilling. So down here is Q1 2013 or Q2 2013, and maybe you're interested in the Strawberry Trend or the Wolfberry. So I can see in Loving, they're drilling into the Wolfberry, so on and so forth. So that's pretty basic information that we provide you. And then the other thing that we do, and this is kind of the OGL, the Oil and Gas Leads Business Development System. We'll go out and we'll load in the CRM. Here we have accounts, and then we have contacts, and contacts are related to the accounts. Our recommendation is only move people over to contacts once you know they're involved in the buying process that we're looking for. And then what we do is we load up this area here called leads with people related to these oil and gas accounts in the Delaware and the Midland Basin, Anadarko, Eagle Ford, so on and so forth. And then we set up some campaigns to kind of help you manage this whole process here. And then, so let me just see here, market research, where's my campaigns? Let me see, drilling rigs, sorry about this, should have Oxy account. I can't believe I can't find these here. Drilling, here we go, campaign history. So we like to run sales campaigns. This particular one for Oxy is, and again, we won't necessarily load 2,500 contacts or leads into your system. We can narrow it down based on some of the ideal customer prospects that you're looking for. But what we can do here is you can also do some searches while you're in here. So I've got all these people. This all came from LinkedIn here. And then I could say something like, I'm interested in completions engineer, and then hit apply. And then here's a list out of those that are completions engineers related to Oxy. And then I can come in here and say, okay, well, here happens to be a senior completions engineer. I can look specifically at the record, the lead record that I associated for that individual. I can click here on their LinkedIn account and invite them as a which we call it a connection. So that's part of one of our channels. I can connect with individuals that I've qualified. And then I also put in here a lot of their information that comes from their LinkedIn profile that you can look at. So here, used to work for Xterra. And then interesting, when you come down here, this particular individual, very focused on artificial lifting systems. And you can know that that particular company's software does that. So, and then baseline CRM stuff, we'll integrate it with your email so you can email from Salesforce. You can log all your conversations associated to the individual. You can have your calendar sync, so on and so forth. So we'll teach you on the baseline stuff. And then on the business development system, if you wanted to go out and you wanted to communicate with these individuals, you could come over here and you could say send a list email, and then you can put some marketing programs together and then automatically have a template, insert it, and then send it out to these individuals and track if they're opening them and starting to get a dialogue of conversation with these individuals. So that kind of shows you using Salesforce CRM as a platform for us loading up and enriching the data associated with it, and then and then all of that helping you with your market research, which is part of the oil and gas business development system, and then ultimately setting up the campaigns to allow you to target individuals and communicate with them one-to-one or on one-to-many, taking them through your sales process. So that's essentially the system as it gets set up.